this week's WAC Basketball Podcast. Our special guest this week hails from Douglas, Wyoming, and she's now in the big city of Riverside, California. She plays for California Baptist, and she is having an absolutely electrifying freshman campaign. She's leading all scorers in our league in conference play with over 15 points a game. She's the leading three-point shooter for the Lancers, and we get the chance to talk about what is making this year so special for her. Our very special guest is Lauren Olsen. We'll bring her in. Lauren, you are having an absolutely tremendous freshman campaign. Right now, you're leading all scorers in conference games, over 15 points a game. You're leading your team in points per game. You're leading your team in three-point percentage. You're getting to the free throw line the most out of anybody. So what has this year been like for you that's allowed you to be able to come in and have such an explosive freshman year?
Yeah, it's been a lot of new things, a lot of adapting to change and just getting used to the whole system. But I would say the biggest thing is just developing relationships with people, with my teammates, with my coaches. I just think that's been so valuable so far, just because just trust, having the trust of my teammates and my coaches just has been really big. And I feel like that started to shine through in the way that I play, because I have confidence because my teammates and my coaches have confidence in me. So
You had mentioned you had picked CBU because you wanted a change. You wanted to go outside your comfort zone. You're originally from Wyoming, and so you picked to live in Riverside. How has this team welcomed you? I know you had a lot of new pieces this year, but there were some core returners. Of course, Lauren Olsen has been there for quite some time. So how did that transition go that allowed you to have so much confidence so early on?
yeah, the first couple months were rough, as it is for probably any freshman. But I would just say the relationships that I have with a lot of the coaches, assistant coaches, Jared, just and my teammates, it's just been big, and just building that. And I mean, you spend so much time with each other, like it's just part of the whole aspect of playing basketball with them. And yeah, just building those relationships, and it's been a pretty easy process so far, and just easy people to get along with, and that makes everything else flow so much better.
Now, I know usually when you come in as a freshman and you're playing collegiate Division I basketball, the game is really fast and you got to learn a lot of different pieces, a new system, how to play at the collegiate level. And for you, it seems like the game has slowed down for you. You're running very efficiently. So is that how you feel? Do you feel like the game has slowed down? Or, a lot of times that happens in their sophomore year, but for you, it seems to just be happening right away.
Yeah, I think the first 3 months before we even got into games, I got to play against, in my opinion, the best players in our league. And I think that that's one of the biggest things is I was exposed to faster, stronger, better players than me right off the bat. And I get to practice with them every day. And that's just really valuable, because then I'm exposed to that way before the games even started. And so, yeah, just credit to my teammates for, I mean, intensity in practice, and then just bringing me um, their best things in practice. And it just makes everything so much easier when it gets into game time.
How has your role evolved from the start of the year? I'm sure when you first walked on campus, you didn't imagine, hey, I would be a major driving force of this offense in just a few months. So how have you developed your skill set so that you are that go-to person? When you need a big three, you're there and you're knocking them down.
Yeah, you never know kind of how you're going to react to everything that happens in the whole freshman year of college thing. I just think that I just had a good reaction, and just keeping my emotions in check and all of that stuff in check. And then, yeah, again, just trust. I think it's just such a big thing, because Jared trusts me, my teammates trust me, and trust leads to confidence, and that's where I get that from.
Well, this team is playing at a high level of confidence. You guys are 7-1 in the WAC. You're sitting at the top of the standings. You're on a two-game win streak. And so as a collective unit, how do you feel like this team is gelling together as we're midway through conference play, a little bit over a month out of the tournament?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing was finding just our connectivity and just getting energy behind the ball. Um, I think we had struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season with that type of thing, but Definitely just finding, our connectivity and working together and ball movement. And I think that just helps a lot. I think another thing is our defense. When we have lots of defensive intensity, that just automatically leads to offensive opportunities.
What's the main thing that Coach Olsen has been preaching that he wants you guys either to clean up or get better at as you move through the second round of seeing these teams 3 times this year?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is defense again. That's something that's effort based, and if you can stay reliable on the defensive side, it's not 100% that you're going to make all your shots all the time. Like that's just not how basketball works. So as long as we can stay connected and stay solid on defense, that's one of the biggest things. That's where we win and where we lose games is when we have a good or bad defensive game. So yeah, I would just say defense for the most part.
You're lighting it up from beyond the arc. You're the team's leading 3-point percentage shooter. Is that a role that you've always taken on in your high school days, or you saw a need and have been practicing in the gym? I mean, you have an incredible quick release and really have been a huge factor in a lot of these games in terms of teams are actually leaving you wide open. I was going through your Utah Valley tape and I was surprised how open you were on some of those threes and you just knock them down each time.
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest things is my teammates. I mean, ball movement and my teammates driving to the basket and getting me open, and I'm just standing there and I'm just ready to shoot. And so that just leads to success. And it was kind of a surprise to me. I kind of struggled at the beginning with the 3-point line because it was further back than I was used to coming out of high school. But just adjusting to that and getting shots up, and then, yeah, just having my teammates to get me open to have the open shot. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be as open like in the Utah Valley game if I didn't have people to do that for me.
And we talked a lot about the success that you're having, and obviously freshman year comes with a lot of challenges. You had mentioned some, but where is the biggest area that you've struggled this year that maybe you're really proud of yourself now for how much you've grown in such a short time?
I would say defense probably again, although I'm still struggling with it a little bit, but I think that it's come a long way. Yeah, in high school, I really just didn't play much defense, if I'm going to be honest with you. So just growing in that and just staying active, and it's difficult. I mean, I'm having to guard girls that are bigger and stronger and faster, and so learning to put my body in a position that will keep not only my girl in front of me and keep my girl from scoring, but also to help my teammates. Yeah.
You look at your high school backgrounds. Were you a three-sport athlete? You were a state volleyball champion, a two-time all-state soccer player. That's on top of your basketball accolades. So, how did you manage the time for all of that? And what made you choose basketball above the other sports that you clearly were very talented at?
Yeah, I love moving my body in different ways. Even here, like I'll find ways to go and do something else. I just think it's really just healthy mentally and physically to be able to do multiple things. And it's also I grew up in a very small town, and everybody kind of just plays every sport, and that's just kind of how it works. And I was really blessed to have an awesome group of girls that I grew up with, and we played sports all throughout high school, and all a bunch of athletes and even better people. And so that just made it all so much more fun, which leads to success. Um, I chose basketball. I just started playing AU basketball for fun too, because my parents were just always so supportive, and whatever I wanted to do, they were like, let's go do it. And so just started playing AAU basketball and spent a lot of time playing basketball, and I just found the most passion for it. So
You mentioned you're from a small town. Now you're in Riverside. You're about an hour away from LA, a much bigger scene. How has that adjustment been for you?
I do miss the small town feels. It's a little different, but it's something that I'm not sure if I'll live in California for the rest of my life. So spending 4 years here or whatever I want to spend here, I'm really grateful for it because this is an experience that not many people get to have. And so looking out of my window right now and I'm looking at palm trees, I mean, come on, I have to be pretty grateful for that. So
Your campus is beautiful, I will say. It doesn't get
yes.
much better than that. Also, it looks like you're majoring in architecture. You want to go into architecture. Tell me a little bit more about that passion and why you chose that field.
Yeah, so I switched my majors at the beginning of the season. So now
Oh,
I know I'm in biomed right now.
oh,
I did really want to do architecture but just with some scheduling issues and hands-on like classes and stuff, basketball didn't really work out with that. So I'm doing biomed right now, and I've really been thinking about going to PA school. So that's what I'm thinking, but who knows?
You got a lot of time to figure it out. I don't think I figured out what I wanted to do until I was a senior in college, pretty much. So you got plenty of time. I also saw the video where you talking about one of your hidden talents, doing a handstand on a paddleboard. I know you're a very active, outdoorsy person. Take me through that and what it takes to be able to do a handstand on a paddleboard. Not everybody can say that.
Yeah, we have a lake that is about 30 minutes away from my hometown, and I think we probably spend 12 hours a day during the summer there. Like every day we're there. And sometimes you just got to try something new, and I was like, this sounds fun, and I tried it and I failed so many times, but then I was like, I'm going to get this down. I was just so determined to be able to do a handstand on a paddleboard, and eventually I got it down, and my mom has some pictures of me doing it, so if I need proof, I'll show you.
Fantastic. Well, back to basketball because you got a big matchup. It's one game this week. You're hosting UT Arlington. You've already seen them before. What's it going to take for this team to come out with another big time win at home before you hit the road next? I think it's Abilene Christian.
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, we're playing all of these teams so many times. So I just think it's really important just to stick together. Through all the ups and downs, like you're not going to play a team 4 times and just make all of your shots all 4 times. Like that's just not how it's going to go. And so there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. And as long as we stick together and stay tightly knitted, we'll be fine.
Well, wishing you the best of luck for the remainder of the season. I hope you have a happy, healthy season. We'll catch up in Vegas. CBU hosts UT Arlington this Saturday. It's on ESPN+. You can follow our socials for all updates there. Thank you so much, Lauren. It's been great catching up with you.
Yes, thank you.